Hey, welcome back. You are watching the Miss Voodoo Project 1/8 scale metal RC crawler build part 6. Now, had a little issue here lately. Weather has held me up. It's been up until about the last 4 days here. It has been down in the negative 20s centigrade, which is awful damn chilly. I'm going through more firewood in the shop than getting work done. I am spending more time just trying to keep the shop warm. Got nothing done. Then all of a sudden our weather turned beautiful. We're up around, I want to say 0 to -5, which to our US brothers and sisters is right around anywhere from 32 down to maybe 28 degrees, so it's not been bad heating the shop. But I had a little issue. Now, I started putting the crawler box together, the box we've decided to go with on her, and, well, damn it if I didn't knock over our brand new camera. And for some reason, the video of all my welding, putting the box together, crapped out, except for what you're going to see here coming up. So I got to apologize ahead of time. It's going to look a little choppy getting through this section only because of our camera malfunction, but I think you're going to enjoy it nonetheless. So let's go. Part 6 coming at you right now. Here we are in the big shop outside. Well, we're not outside, but we're in the big shop. So, oxyacetylene welding. Putting the box that we made on part 4 together has been completed at this point. Now I'm just adding the angled sections of the box, which will go over top of the dualies and in effect create the box sides. Now, on this, I am using some 3/8 rod. I was going to go with square, but I like the looks of the rod better, and I think it's just, well, it's what I decided to go with anyway. So I happen to prefer oxyacetylene welding to the MIG. Not that MIG isn't a great form of welding, but anyone can do it. Literally anyone who can go out and buy a welder can learn how to do it. And oxyacetylene, while it is, well, on these things it's not really slower because, I mean, the metal is so thin that it's actually quite a quick process anyway. But my big kick behind it all is I think oxyacetylene welding is just so much more elegant. So that being said, as you can see on the left and right front upper corners where the torch is welding, right front, other side left front, that is 3/8 rod that I'm welding on. Now I'm putting pieces down both sides of the box all the way down, and we are going to later on attach our bed coverings, so they'll be filled in more or less. You're going to see the rod on the bottom side of the box, and that's why I went with round, as I thought maybe just a little different versus the square tubing. Okay, so now we've switched angles a little bit, and what you're going to see here is just basically in the V between the rod and the box frame, I'm going to add some welding for a bit of strength here, and just makes it look a little nicer. It's going to give it a cleaner looking attachment without having to do a lot of cleanup afterwards. Saves a lot of time, saves a lot of headache. It wasn't too long after this, I meant to say shortly after this, that I knocked over the camera here. I went to reach up and do something, and damn if I didn't catch the power cable, and the brand new camera ended up on the floor, tripod and everything, and I destroyed the rest of the film, showing how I welded the rest of the tabs along the side of the box and mounting the box onto the frame. However, I did do some more video here that is in this section that you will see here in a couple of minutes that explains it all anyway. And long story short, the box was oxyacetylene welded onto the frame in the same technique you're seeing here, only it allowed you to see a lot more welding, but it is what it is. So anyway, we'll continue on here. As you can see, the box is firmly welded on now. So I wanted to stop here to do some explaining of this now. So I've actually borrowed a cab from another project we have going on. Now, please don't pay attention to this. This is a totally different project. It has nothing to do with Miss Voodoo. It's just for a little ease of explanation. So let's suppose Voodoo's rear of her cab is going to be here where this door is. Now, we've got all of this full of motor and tranny already, plus servos and ESC are going to be under the cab area here. So I'm trying to balance the weight out over the whole vehicle evenly, so we have everything laying on the bottom, keeping all the weight as low as possible, which you obviously want on crawlers. So on that note, under the cab, or what will be the cab, obviously this is not, again, this is another project that is going to be upcoming. But all of this is going to be electronics, basically. ESCs, the receivers, all of that jazz. Now, so the back door of the cab will be here, leaving the back wall of the cab right in this area here, where the back of this little cab is, okay? So, if you look, and I'll try and get down here, now there's quite a good gap between the box bottom and the frame rail. So what I'm going to do is actually, considering the rear diff will sit in right here, okay, the rear diff and the tires will sit in here, what I'm going to do is kind of skid plate the bottom here anyway along the whole base, and a little up here. I'll put another little bit of a plate in here, okay, under here. Now that gives me room for multiple batteries so that I can have one battery running accessories off of her, another battery. Sorry, I hope I didn't block that shot with my glove there. I didn't realize I was still holding on to it. We'll have multiple batteries, one to run all the electronics in the vehicle, the motors, all of that, so on, basically the drivetrain. Another battery to run the accessories, ergo giving us longer run time, because not everything's going to be draining off of one battery. She's going to be power hungry anyway, because I'm pretty sure I've decided I am going to go with a double motor setup, a double Holmes Hobby revolver setup. So double motor, double ESC, they're double batteries, one for each basically. So that's why under the cab it's going to be really busy already, and we want obviously to have a full scale cab with seats and everything else. Doors will open and close, everything will function, so we want you to be able to look inside and not see any of that stuff. So that's why I'm going through all of this. Let's move this now for a second. And so basically, I'll get rid of my scrap pieces here, pardon me. So here underneath the cab, on the floor of the cab, it'll be skid plated from the underside. It'll look like a nice skid plate from the inside. This is going to be very busy with electronics. In front of the tranny mount will be very busy with motors, tranny, transfer case, a dig unit, all of that sort of thing. So because I am looking at installing a dig unit on this one, so that we can run just the front diffs or just the rear, exactly as we do on the 1-to-1 Miss Voodoo. We want to make her as close to 1-to-1 Miss Voodoo as possible, except for the design change on the crawler box and probably an exo cage. This vehicle, Miss Voodoo 1/8 scale, will have an exo cage on her, which eventually we're hoping will end up on 1-to-1 Miss Voodoo. So this allows me to get a couple of batteries right in here, maybe another one in here, and whatever else we need in the back. It gives me lots of area, because of course the rear bumper will go on here, which is going to be the next bit of welding you'll see, is building this up and getting her ready for her rear bumper. We'll get the rest of the shock mounts on now that I've done the adjustment to the frame. I did actually make a mismeasurement on it. I originally was 10.5 wide. Now I'm only 9.5 wide across the front. Here, let me show you. Just a sec. So, as you see, I am, focus, thank you, I'm 9.5 wide, where I was 10.5 wide. So, an inch has been chopped out of her. She was re-welded. As you can see, it's still, you know, messy. I haven't cleaned up all the welds yet, but I'll get them. And so the next bit of welding you're going to see happening on her, well, actually, you might not even see it. I mean, welding on a couple shock towers is pretty boring. I might show you the rear end here, but probably, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Anyway, so that's why the box is mounted the way it is. So it's permanent. It's in its proper home. It won't be changing anymore. And all it'll do is getting built up and finalized, and she should be pretty cool. Just to let you know, the floor will be checker plate aluminum, as will the sides coming up. We've got some nice checker plate aluminum for her, and so you'll see a nice checker plate aluminum bed in the box. So there we are with the Miss Voodoo project 1/8 screw. If I could talk today, the Miss Voodoo project 1/8 scale metal crawler build part 6. If you want to check out more of my welding, now please, this is just going to be welding. While it will be on RCs, yes, it has very little to do with RCs, and it is a very in-depth welding series that I will be starting on Patreon. You can find us at www.patreon.com/YYC Designs. I will put a link to that in the description if you want to check it out. Videos for the welding series, as well as some other series that y'all may be interested in, will be on Patreon, but they will be a monthly subscription, and I will again put all the details in there, or check us out on Patreon and see what you like to look at. And the videos will be free, not free, but they will be available to you to be able to download, so that you can watch them as many times as you like. And it will be basically taking you, the welding series anyway, will be basically taking you to start with oxyacetylene welding. It will take you through torch maintenance and setup, all the way through to welding and safety and shutdown. So that's that. But this ends part 6, and we hope you enjoy this video, as well as check out our other stuff. And we are also now on Facebook, so please look us up there. There will be photos posted of our projects. I'll get some of Miss Voodoo up here in the beginning of the week on both our Facebook and our Instagram pages, and that way we can communicate back and forth. You can comment here, but you can also comment there, and or message me on Instagram only. You can, however, message Tam on Facebook. You'll be talking with Tams on Facebook. You'll be talking with me on Instagram. That's just the way we've divided it up to make the workload a little easier on me. So anyhow, that's it for part 6, and hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe and share it with your friends, and we will see you in part 7 of the Miss Voodoo project 1/8 scale metal RC crawler build project. Take care. Bye bye.